Hey, what's going on, guys? Double 18 Set Shadow here. Following up on our market watch from earlier in this week, we still have a huge number of cards to cover that have been happening. It's mainly going to be a smaller focus on Stoichia today, in addition to the Blitz products, which we haven't talked about them as a whole for a while, but let's go ahead and get started and see where things are at. So our first card of the day is going to be Fander from set 13. I'm supposing this is due to a lot of the anticipation with Fated Clash, but given that this is a good support card for Zorga today, and Zorga is coming back as part of Fated Clash, we should see some more value in this card coming up. And looking at new sells on this card, more recently, it's sold for $7 at a high. And we take a look at some of the other listings from before. It's still selling for around $5. There were a few cheap listings that were on the market. I don't know if those had high shipping tags with them. But as of now, the current listings are all at least $7.50. And a lot of them start to move up to $10. So if you do need to pick this card up, you'll want to shop around a bit, as the price is just slowly creeping up. Leonor and Vivis, on the other hand, is not really moving very many places. Right now, we've got a lightly played copy as the low for $7, and recent listings have all stayed relatively under $10, usually around $9. And while it looks like there was a rebound from January, ultimately, I think that had to do with the fact that this card did have not a market price, but a lot of prices that were down to the $3 range at some point. That is weird to see. I don't remember it happening in January, though. Regardless, the card's current availability still has a lot of copies that are $8.50 or a little bit under that. And the front page is not any higher than $9 right now, so there is still plenty of room to pick this up if you still want to build Leonor. Green Jewel Beast Elmadar, which is the Jewel Beast for Stoichia. Right now the card has a very low amount of listings between its triple and FFR. 7 overall when you look at the triple rare, and its market price is currently $6, while the FFR is at $26.26 with one listing to go, higher than the market price of $18.61. So just another indicator, these jewel beasts are not getting much cheaper, and they're continuing to rise overall in value. Burrow Mushrooms is an interesting case. The rare has gone up in value to a base of $4, and the market price is almost $3, with 8 listings to go. But there's been a fallout on the FR, where it's now $8 base with a market price of $10.86. And I'm curious to see if that's not just a low... Oh, that's a lightly played copy. After that, it's still $8 near mint as well, for 2 copies that are available, and after that it just goes back up into its usual $11-12 range. But I believe Burrow Mushrooms is going to be getting a promo reprint in the near future. Give it maybe another 5 months before we see it, but I believe it's supposed to be with the tournament packs, and similar to how they were before, it would just be a regular and a foil. I don't know if it's getting an alternate art. Usually it should if we are seeing it in those packs. Now to go into some of the products of the Blitz Enterprise, starting with the biggest one, Freischütze Maximum. We're just going to go over the FR for today, as it's down to 2 listings, and you can see that there is quite a increase on the market price from just under the $8 range to $8.46. And recent sells, sporadic, but they have all been selling for $14 and $15, and the only available listings now are $15 and $18. Then we've got Assault Flight Carrier Lubrizol, which this one's FR is currently $3 base with 9 listings to go. It's also ticking up in terms of its market price from closer to $1.90 to $2.44. And it looks like someone picked up 4 copies for $8.45. Before that, it was only selling for $2.20. Which means lots of the copies available here. There are listings with only 1 or 2 copies. And they're around $2, $5, and just make their way up from there. But there are no copies left, no listings left where there are at least 4 copies of this anymore. We've also got Mobile Kenel, our little dog of the Blitz Enterprise. And the regular promo has been down from its hype price with a base price of $9, and it's got 21 listings now. But when it comes to the foil, we're only at 6 listings on that one at $24. I'd say that's about right, given that you'll probably play one of these if you play this in Divine Clash. So, yeah, I'd say that's about right for where it is. Now, here's an interesting one. Operate Master Ryhot has not seen a really big gain on its triple rare, but it is a $9 base with a market price of $13 right now. But the FFR is almost out of listings. It's been bought out to the point of $190. And if we take a look at actual sells, one is that, well, we're spiking back up on the market price from around 45 to 55, and there have been a few sells above $100, and most of the recent sells have all been around 50, 60. Available listing there's only, I already said it. There's only one listing left at 190, so if you do have copies of this you're looking to get rid of, they're moving, so this is a good opportunity to get rid of them. Hop Stellar Melty has also been going up in value. It has 3 overall copies with 1 SP available, but it's $15 base between the original and the special reprint that come from Set 2 and then 2023, and then the SPs from Lyrical Set 2, and it's currently $41.19 for the base price, whereas its market price is currently $49.59. Melty is one of those cards that just has generic utility, so it'll maintain some decent value over time unless it just gets reprinted into the ground. At this point it hasn't been, so it is one to watch out for as you continue to go along. Something that did continue to decrease in price is Revel Form Tempest, which now has a base price of $12.50, and that seller has 4 copies available. Recent listings have sold for $13.50, $14.50, but all listings available are now essentially $15 or lower for the first page, with a few exceptions. But it's a really big drop compared to how it used to be ranging in the $60 to $70 range. And even with the Triple Drive reprint announced, the card still managed to keep its value in the 20s for a little while thanks to Full Blast. But times are moving fast. And as we get close to the Triple Drive reprint, it's a given that this just continues to go down. Bist Optis, the Dragon Tree Wretch for Stoichia, has been seeing a slight uptick on its triple rare and is now close to $10 for its base listing with only 7 listings left. As for the FFR, that one is not really taking off. It has 11 listings overall, but has a price of almost $30 for its base and a market price of $40. It has general utility of being able to pick up orders from the drop, so I can see why there's more playability involved for this card. And even if you don't play it for the Dragon Tree aspect, just being able to pick up an order every turn is not a bad skill to have. So definitely keep your eye on this one though, as it has been upticking with a low amount of listings on the triple rare. Then you've also got Depui, which currently the base value of the double rare is higher than the base value of the FR. $13 double rare, $10.50 on the FR, and even the market price on the double rare is higher than the FRs too. So, I'll say it again, when you go to look for cards, make sure you look at all their rarities, because there is the possibility that you could get the higher rarity for a cheaper price. Let me see if this has actually been selling on the double rare, but my guess is that it has been. And it has. Recent sales have been 1350 to 13. So when we take a look at how many are available on the FR right now, we're looking at even the recent sales have been cheaper on top of that by $1 or $2, but still cheaper. And when you take a look at available listings, there's only the one for 1050 before it becomes 1350 plus. So it is going back up there, but at this point, you might as well pick up the FR in that case. Although, it's probably, I honestly don't know for sure why this is maintaining so much value in comparison though. Protection Magic Perobi. I sold the last few of my spare copies recently, so I wanted to go back and check this because I had them listed for $10, and it looks like all the base versions, including the double R from the 2023 set, all hit $10 or above on recent sales. And if you look at the market prices, they're about to hit that too. They're basically around $9, $8. And if you want the SP copy, there are only 2 listings of that left at $79.41 to start, and the market price is $78.96. And overall listings for all the other copies, there are a combined 16 listings available for all of them, so just keep your eyes open. A lot of these draw triggers, especially stuff for Cater Sanctuary, keeps going pretty fast. Something that hasn't been looked at for a while is Selfish Engraver. So I wanted to revisit this as it used to be a pretty big contender for slots in Dark State decks. But I guess it's just gotten outclassed by a lot of different other cards over time. Even so, the fact that it has both Soul Charge and Counter Charge does give it some utility as a nice little tool to play in Dark States decks in general. And right now, pricing and listing, there are plenty of listings available, and the card is underneath $1 for the base listings of both its regular and its foil version. This card is only from set 1 right now with no reprints either. So if it does find some usage overall, it could probably see a pretty interesting spike. And the final thing to cover today, I know we're looking at a lot of different Aura Battle Princesses, but the main one I want to focus on right now is Loris Yellow at the very top, where you can still see the trial deck version of this card is at $1. Again, just a trial deck crit being at $1. Still don't think it has any business doing that, because then you could just buy the deck for $1 or $2 higher, and you get 4 of these. Not to mention you get a whole deck. And then, of course, you've got the triple rare, which is currently 323 base with 14 listings available. But just to note, the SP is currently short on listings with 3 altogether at $32.69, and the market price is $16.67. So it is in a buyout state right now if you need to pick this up. Or if you're looking to sell your copies, they are moving at this point. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.